Hey, yo, what up, what up? Welcome. This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. Shout out to everybody that regularly watches the channel, likes, subscribes, comments, the community that we're building. I always say, man, I really love it here. And then for the people who are just kind of finding out about this, I know there's a big news week and we're attracting a lot of fans from hip hop from all over, and just music fans who kind of want to know what's going on or want to have a discussion or just some perspective on it. So, you know, it's just my thoughts. I'm just going to give you my perspective. Been in the music business 20 years. It's been 20 years in 2024. So, you know, I know a couple things about a couple things, but I don't know everything, man. So there's just perspective, this conversation. Yesterday was a busy day. Shout out to everybody who tuned in on my live stream, man. Love y'all. And then everybody who came over to the Culture United live stream with Justin Hunt, the company man, Curtis King, FD Signified jumped on, Jeremy Heck jumped on, Professor Sky jumped on, and Friday jumped on, man. So, you know, we had a good time yesterday, but, you know, an important time. Like, really, it wasn't like just fun and games. Like, we're talking about our culture in serious ways. So yesterday was busy, man. After the shock of Drake taking legal action against UMG and Spotify, petitioning the courts for them to turn over evidence so that it could possibly support a lawsuit where Drake will charge that they used illegal means to boost the popularity of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Now, that happened on Monday, and it was a big shock, you know, and shout out to everybody who watched my video breakdown of that. I waited till Tuesday morning to drop my video because I just didn't want to react like that. I was like, man, let me like really read this paperwork. Let me print it out and talk about it. So at least when I come up on here, I kind of know what I'm talking about, right? Or at least I'm more educated. I'm just not going off of a headline or something I saw on Twitter. So that was shocking. We had never seen that before in hip hop. And then yesterday, Drake filed a second petition, this time in Texas, against iHeartRadio and UMG, with claims that the two colluded to defame Drake by making Not Like Us more popular and using illegal means to do so, more specifically citing like pay for play or what's known as payola in radio. And, you know, that charge was also made, or that claim was also made in the first filing. So the second filing is a lot like the first, but it's more focused on the radio aspect of Not Like Us, the radio popularity, and then directed at iHeartMedia. I think it was, for those who don't know, first of all, iHeartMedia is an audio media company and owns radio stations all across the country, including Power 105 in New York. I'm from New York, so, you know, Power 105 is the big station. Hot 97 is the other big station. iHeartMedia owns Power 105. And they're based in Texas, which is likely why this was filed in Texas. I'm not 100% sure. I think Drake also lives in Texas, but I think my best guess is this was, you know, the first one was filed in New York. This second one was filed in Texas because iHeart is based in Texas and operates out of Texas. So I'm going to read section 17 because that kind of spells it out right there, right? Cool. Let me just go to section 17. It says, the petitioner is Drake in this. And then it's also interesting. I don't know why, but in the first filing, it was Frozen Moments, which was Drake's company. So Drake was filing through his company, which he owns. So in essence, it's still Drake. This one is Aubrey Drake Graham. So this is like Drake personally, petitioner requesting depositions of iHeartMedia and UMG recordings. But so it says here in section 17, petitioner, which is Drake, brings this action for a discrete and specific purpose: to understand whether and how UMG funneled payments to iHeartRadio and its radio stations as a part of pay-to-play scheme. So, you know, it's funny. It says to understand whether and how. So whether is, you know, they're not really sure. So this is what this petition is for, is for both of these companies to turn over evidence so they can go through the evidence and see if they actually have a lawsuit. So to understand whether and how UMG funnel payments to iHeartRadio and its radio stations as a part of pay-to-play scheme, petitioner has amassed sufficient facts to pursue certain tortious claims against UMG, including but not limited to a claim for defamation, but currently lacks factual support necessary to determine whether he may bring claims of civil fraud and racketeering against UMG and its many, as of yet, unidentified co-conspirators who violated payola laws and accepted illicit payments and other things of value from UMG without disclosure. So it's a defamation case. He's trying to build a defamation case. And he says he has facts, but currently lacks the factual support to determine whether he may bring civil claims of civil fraud and racketeering. So like the first one, threatening or alluding to or possibly moving towards a RICO case against UMG and its many as of yet unidentified co-conspirators. So this also means that others may be brought into this. Right now we have Spotify, we have UMG, we have iHeart, and they may bring others into this. A lot of what is here is, like I said, was in the first filing. This is just more specific to iHeart. Things like, and we talked about this yesterday if you watched the video yesterday. Section 13 says petitioner has been unable to confirm whether iHeart stations were among the stations paid as part of UMG's pay-to-play scheme, or whether they were direct payments from UMG to iHeartRadio to promote Not Like Us, giving iHeart Media's stature as the number one audio company in the country. Petitioner believes that UMG engaged in similar tactics to drive radio plays of Not Like Us on iHeart Media stations. In Section 15, they talk about the accusations of the bots to boost 30 million streams. If you watch yesterday's video, that's there. And then, there's one other thing in here that I wanted to read. I'm sorry, I thought I took a note of this. But, what it claims is, here it is. And this is crazy. This is section number 3. So again, this defamation and it's Not Like Us, right? So it says earlier this year, one of the artists that UMG has under contract presented UMG with a new song called Not Like Us. Before it approved the release of the song, UMG knew that the song itself, as well as its accompanying album art and music video, attacked the character of another one of UMG's most prominent artists, Drake, by falsely accusing him of being a sex offender, engaging in pedophilic acts, harboring sex offenders, and committing other criminal sexual acts. Specifically, the song calls Drake a certified pedophile, a predator, and someone whose name should be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. So, that's what he's alleging. This is the case that he's trying to build. The more I read this, right, it's clear to me that Drake is trying to force hard negotiations with UMG. I'm not 100% sure where they're at with that, and I know there's been other reportings. I really honestly haven't read into it about where he is in his recoup of the $400 million deal and if there's renegotiations or what the deal with that is and how much that plays here. So I'm not 100% sure where they're at. But in reading this, it's clear to me that he's trying to force hard negotiations with UMG. I also understand the complication, right, with both Kendrick and Drake being on UMG. Kendrick is on Interscope, Drake is on Republic, but it's all under the Universal Music Group umbrella. But the way it's set up, each label is designed to win for itself financially, right? So Interscope is concerned with putting out and marketing hit records for its Interscope artists. And, at this juncture, it was at the expense of a Republic artist, of Drake, but it's all UMG. So I also see how losing this battle and being on the receiving end of an ass whooping like Not Like Us, we all seen it. It hurts negotiations for Drake. So if Drake is in some type of negotiation with Republic and ultimately UMG, because I believe he deals at the top with Lucian, right, or close to the top. So if he's in negotiations with UMG, he may lose leverage because there's chinks in his armor. If the company he's trying to negotiate with is ultimately funding the record that makes him lose leverage, I get that. I get the frustration with that. Like, fundamentally, I get that. It fucking sucks. Oh my God. Like, imagine. You know what I'm saying? But UMG didn't bring us here. First of all, too, they capitalized off of it. They absolutely capitalized off of it. UMG wins. The house wins. But they didn't get us here. And I want to be clear, at least from my expectations. Like I never expected UMG to be some moral compass. You know what I'm saying? Look at what gets promoted in hip hop and what gets marketed, man. Drugs, murder, black murder, misogyny. If you go back at Leor, who at the time was not part of the Universal system, but he used to run Def Jam. But Leor just exemplary of how recorded executives think, specifically in hip hop. He was on the Breakfast Club a couple of years ago, and he was asked about does he feel like he has some type of responsibility to these artists who are like on drugs and their lives are spiraling and they're making records and he ultimately said, look, I got records to sell. Like ultimately he was like, yo, we got to sell these records. Like it just wasn't a concern of his. So the fact that in this thing that we're looking for UMG to have some moral compass, and after all the different types of music that gets put out that says Not Like Us comes and they say, whoa, okay, here's where we're going to draw the line. We're not putting this out. We can't support this. We can't market and promote this record. It's just not how record labels work. You know what I'm saying? It's not how these big record companies work. Maybe Drake thinks, oh, because I'm Drake, I'm the big artist, I'm the cash cow here, that there will be some levels of protection, but obviously not, and maybe UMG did say, hey, you know what, we break them down a couple notches, we can get more leverage in our negotiation. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the thing. But my point is this: UMG didn't bring us here. UMG didn't get us to UMG didn't get us to certified lover boy, certified pedophile. They capitalized off it, but they didn't get us here. We all know Kendrick versus Drake had been brewing for years, right? A long time. Like since Control, there's been a competitive thing, subs back and forth. There were subs at the BET Cypher from Kendrick. There was a sub on King Kunta. There was a sub on The Language from Drake. So this has been tossed back and forth, and we could theorize on how many other times, but this has been going on for years. Then Kendrick was addressed by Cole on First Person Shooter, and it wasn't really a diss, but Cole said, I'm the best among the big three. I love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot? Is it Aubrey? Is it me? We're the big three like we started the league, but right now I feel like I'm Muhammad Ali. Right now I feel like I'm the GOAT. And Kendrick met his challenge. It wasn't too different from Kendrick beating his chest on Control. Like this is just how rap is supposed to feel. I'm the best. So at the point of the First Person Shooter, to me, and it seemed like, hey, this was a rap battle. This was about who's the best rapper. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it seemed to go. And boom, when you listen to Like That, it was centered around who's the best rapper. And Drake got on push-ups and he mentioned Whitney's name. That's the mother to Kendrick's children. I'll be around some bodyguards like Whitney. And to me, that's where it starts to get ugly. He didn't straight up diss her, but just the mention of his name is like, where are we going and why are we going there? It's a similar tactic that he did on Duppy Freestyle when he mentioned Push's wife's name. And then, so after push-ups, Drake comes back to back and dropped Taylor Made Freestyle and rapped as Pac in AI, right? He rapped as Snoop, he rapped as Pac, he rapped as himself. But rapping as Pac in AI, Drake was the first one to introduce the concept of sexual offender, of him being a sexual offender, right? He said, we need a no debated West Coast victory, man. Call him a bitch for me. Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me. I heard it on the Joe Budden podcast. So technically, Drake introduced the PDF file talk, right? Now, granted, I know why he was doing it. It was like some 8 Mile. Hey, let me predict what Kendrick might say, and let me say it first and neutralize it before he tries to say it. I get it. But technically, he's the one who mentioned him being liking young girls first. And because that was the talk on the internet, I guess they mentioned it on the Joe Budden podcast. We had seen the video of him kissing the girl on stage. There was like the Millie Bobby Brown rumors and mess like that. I'm not even saying none of this is true. I'm saying it was talk on the internet. Drake was aware of this talk, and Drake introduced it into the battle first. So Drake, push-ups, Taylor Made, and then Kendrick drops Euphoria and issues a warning. Don't tell no lies about me. I won't tell no truths about you. He also says we ain't got to get personal. This is just a friendly fade. You should keep it that way. I know some shit about things that make Gunna Wanna look like a saint. Then he gets to the whole scheme. Don't speak on the family, Crody. Like, he's issuing warnings like, yo, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Like, or some Will Smith shit without the slap yet. Like, then, you know what I mean? And then obviously ends the song, if you take it there, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do. 616 in LA comes out next. No mention of Drake or sexual offense or anything in that song. Then we get Family Matters. And on Family Matters, Drake accuses Kendrick of domestic violence and also says that Dave Free has a love child with Kendrick's lady and that Kendrick is raising the baby. Which to me, that escalates it. Now that takes it up a level. Like damn, like I beat my girl like DV and there's this weird love triangle going on. Wow, like, you know what I'm saying? After you were warned, like, don't speak on the family. It's a friendly fade. You should keep it that way. Now, Drake seemed to be mad because Kendrick mentioned his son. But in all fairness, Kendrick really didn't mention his son. You know, he said, you know, the line that I guess is you know, when Kendrick talks about Drake putting money in the street and you think my life is just rap, and then he gets into that scheme. That's whole shit. I got a son to raise, but you don't know nothing about that. Waking him up, knowing nothing about that. Telling him to pray, know nothing about that. Then give him tools to walk through his life day by day, know nothing about that. He goes on and on and on and on. So he's getting at Drake as a father, but actually never mentioned Drake's son by name and isn't really talking, you know, just listen to the words. This is Kendrick saying, I got a son to raise. Me, Kendrick Lamar, I got a son to raise. I'm waking him up every day. You don't know nothing about that. I'm telling him to pray. You don't know nothing about that. They're not giving the tools to walk through life day by day. You know nothing about that. So he's not, I guess by proxy, he's attacking or putting some dirt on Drake's son's name. But really what he's doing is attacking Drake and attacking his character and attacking and saying, if this is your character and I'm painting this as your character, what are you passing on to your children? It's more of a thing on Drake. It's like, hey, this is me. This is what I'm doing with my son. You don't know nothing about that. I didn't think that was cause for. I didn't think that escalated it to the point of the DV accusations and the love triangle accusations with Dave Free. But Drake did. You know what I'm saying? It's a gray area. Some people may see it differently. So, so going back to Family Matters drops, talks about DV, love triangle, and then 30 minutes later, Meet the Grams drops. And this is where we start to get it from Kendrick, right? He got sex offenders on Hovio that he keep on monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around them. And we got to raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him lurking. Fuck a rap battle. He should die, and all of these women could live with a purpose. So Meet the Grams is when Kendrick then first starts to go there. And then, of course, Drake having a secret daughter and a bunch of other accusations. And then the next day, Not Like Us drops, and we get Certified Lover Boy, Certified Pedophile, and Registered, placed on Neighborhood Watch. We get the album cover with the red dots on Drake's property. And so I say all this to say this. Why do I rehash or go back in this? I say this to say this. I don't know if, first of all, if you can win a defamation case off of a rap battle or not. Like I'm saying, I truly don't know. But what I'm saying here, just the action of this, Drake has to take accountability here. You know what I'm saying? Because Kendrick could say the same thing, like labeling Kendrick as an abuser, like, yo, you defame me. You know, I mean, what Drake is saying is deeper, because technically he's not coming at Kendrick. He's saying, yo, this record was here. UMG, y'all put this record out, and then y'all paid money to market it and make it the biggest thing in the world. And taking hits and putting chinks in my armor. Like, I get it. But this the record business. You engaged in this battle, and it could have went the other way. It could have went the other way. You know, the fact of the matter is, you know, and maybe by proxy, he's saying that he lost this battle and lost a bit of his reputation because UMG funded it. You know, we determined the winner of this battle the Monday after Not Like Us dropped at the latest. It was Family Matters. It was Meet the Grams on the same night. It was Not Like Us the next day. It was The Heart Part 6 the day after that. And by Monday, we were like, hey, Kendrick got it. So that was before Not Like Us went gold or however many times platinum. That was before it hit #1 on Billboard. That's before it amassed almost 1 billion streams. Like, we were judging the quality of the record. So just in the battle, you was looking funny in the light because of poor strategy, and you had just lost this battle. I've always said the pedophile accusations are unfortunate. Again, I would never say it out of my own mouth because I for this very reason, I don't know. I don't have any proof. If it's in a rap battle, I believe it's fair game. But I'm not sitting up here making these accusations against Drake personally. That could be libel and slander, and that's not right. I don't know it. I don't know it to be true. So I'm not saying it. But it's a rap battle, dog. So what if is Biggie suing Pac for hitting him up? Claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. You know what I'm saying? KRS says some Roxanne Shante is only good for steady fucking on the bridges. This is the 80s. Like, and she was a teenager at that time. Fucked up. Wouldn't fly today. Whatever. It was a different time. Shout out to Roxanne Shante, pioneer, a fucking architect of this shit that we do. Straight up. But man, what if we start suing each other? What if we start filing suits against labels or each other for rap battles? Nah, dog, this ain't it. I don't think I think these filings have more to do with UMG than it does Kendrick. And there is something in the first filing that said that UMG said, well, Drake, if you sue us, we're going to sue Kendrick because of indemnification, which is something that goes on in the music industry. So by proxy, this could really hurt Kendrick. We'll see. My thought is this never gets to court. Nobody wants to see this play out in court at all. I think it's already a huge PR hit for Drake. I think if we seen this play out in trial, it would be an even bigger hit. I don't think UMG wants anybody digging through their shit and seeing how they do shit. I don't think a trial here helps anybody. I think this gets settled and negotiated somehow, some way out of court. But for Drake, this move right here is just bad, man. And I don't know where we go from here. Like, hanging this, I understand Drake's frustration, I really do. But hanging this on a battle record, hanging this on a diss record, hanging this on Not Like Us is just bad. It's not hip hop. It's gonna be a big PR hit, and I don't know if we look at the same. We're gonna be talking about this forever. Every time he drops something. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. Hit me in the comments, man. Like, subscribe. We'll be back. He interrupted me, man. This all interrupted me because I just wanted to break down records from GNX. I still ain't do nothing on the Squabble Up video. We'll get to all that, man. Still listening to the album, still appreciate the album. But this is big news. We never seen nothing like it before. So, let me know. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. To the next video. Peace.